What's up? This is HDNEWS here. So I got good news and I got bad news. So the good news is I got the medicine to be covered for the last 2 years. If you don't know, the hemophilia medicine to treat bleeding. And when I had the surgery last year for the wisdom tooth removal and the face bleed this year early, it's in the process of being progressed. They're processing it. The bad news is I temporarily hurt my foot, both feet, and I got like a little tiny fracture. I'm thinking that's in the bone that I can still work with, but I've been told by CSMs and other uh, workers who watch me to stay off of it when you're off the clock. When you're on your break or lunch or anything like that. These usually happen when you have a lot of weight bearing on you that you're not usually used to. If you don't know, I never had one that much. I think this might be the first time, but I'm taking precautions regardless. I'm staying off of it. They say when you have one of those, your bones can usually heal. For me, luckily, my hemophilia did not activate and bleed, so that's out of the way. There's no swelling or nothing, so that's a good sign. No redness in both feet, so they're completely normal. It's just the bones are trying to heal, and I'm taking milk and things like that are like low carb and less fat, less cholesterol, because I gotta keep mine in check regardless. Get the family history on my father's side. So yeah, your bones usually take a while to heal for a human. When you're younger like me, it's easier. When you're younger, it's a little quicker as well, but it's usually 4 to 6 weeks. If not, there's gonna have to be surgery. But I'm taking precautions so that does not occur. It's not as bad. I can walk at least an hour before I start having just a little bit of pain. But every now and then there'll be pain when I'm walking. But until the bones are actually fixed, that little tear, that micro tear that's in them in a certain section of the upper part. And by the way, I already got insoles I've been wearing for like 7 years or more that have arch support that keeps it up. And now I just switched to socks that I already had available that had the arch support built in. They'll actually help more with it. So I got both together to make sure that the load is correct and there's no more of this issue. It will take a while to get back. I had to work in a very windy environment a couple of days ago when we had 60-mile-per-hour winds. So I'm at least able to build a computer that I want. And I'm talking about Ubuntu that I started with. My dad started back in 2006 or so. He actually purchased, I think he might have donated, but there's CDs back then for free, but it was where you could install the first Linux like this inside of Windows. You could actually launch it in Windows XP. And I seen some of it. They don't make it like they used to. You can still install on Windows, but Mac, I'm not sure. I'm not expert. But it was possible to run Windows and then boot into the Linux OS on top of the Windows below it. And it really used less RAM. But now they got a new core and all that where you technically don't need to have a new download in order to make it work on new systems with new hardware. So they're trying to make it better. I've been using this OS probably since 2008 or 2006, so it's been a while. 2007 era, more like. So yeah, it's a free OS. You can donate if you want to their Chronicle, wherever they are. It's in the UK, so you will be paying euro, and if you want to donate. The other OS is Zorn OS. That is no longer free. You have to pay the same currency. It's euro, and it's if you have a credit card, that's American, or I have to chip in. At least it supports a lot of countries' payments. Universal payments, so you don't have to deal with it. It'd be a lot easier for you. Trust me. I got a card that It's for multiple countries, and it's what I get my money on. So yeah, I think it was like $20, I believe, U.S. It covered a little bit more because conversion from a dollar amount of U.S. currency to United Kingdom euro. Because they're in Europe, they're actually in London, more area and around that area where they open source this, and there might be a time when this distro may end. I've been hearing about it for the last 3 to 4 weeks that it may be coming to an end unless they change how they do it. This is more like the prototype I liked. You had this, and then and the first version of this, you had it on the bottom like Windows S bar. It was kind of like that. Had all your settings here because this is open source and it won't run Windows code, and you think you're safe from malware like ransomware, as long as you don't actually install Wine or Windows emulator program on this Linux or any other Linux. You should be safe from those kinds, but it doesn't mean it won't be on a version of Linux. They can eventually do it. I know anything is possible to hackers and people who are doing things. And my Intel process has probably got a couple of security flaws already. A lot of them are like, I want to build a new Intel, but I keep seeing bad details of really serious security hardware trouble that is really scary. And this basically can steal your data, and it's like, we can't really trust it. I mean, AMD is probably a choice for me where I'll go next, as long as it doesn't have a lot of those flaws in it for security. So, yeah, this is i5. This is the old Intel. It's getting some age on it. The hard drive is the least as slow. The rest is fine. But it's old hardware. Nothing lasts. I mean, the phone needs to be charged a lot. I can't go very far on miles without a charge without having constantly plugged in the phone. Because the battery is being much weaker, the hardware is sucking more because it's newer operating system. But the iPhones, there's been reports of those things breaking all the time, and I'm trying to keep mine going to be used until I know we got the money, and it may be a little longer, but less longer than we thought it would be, because of that one company who's going to actually pay off the debt for the factor, but we haven't got the hospital bill yet, so technically that's another obstacle ready to happen, and I had to get proof. I talked to my mom, okay it with them, with U.S. law, and then they'll explain the details, how much I technically owe to them for taking care of me and making sure I didn't go blind. And I didn't lose vision or anything like that, or hearing. Everything's good. It would be nice to go get tested for vision, for sure. Hearing's alright, I know that. Vision's still perfect, but it never hurts. It's just to be prepared when life goes different directions. Depending on your family history. I know there was a coworker. I know it's like, okay, to see me. I know that sign. That's like a sign of a heart attack, and that's for sure. I know she had. I think I asked her before. I mean, it runs in my family too. I know the signs of a heart attack. You feel any chest pain? If I see someone with chest pain, there's gonna be a good chance. With especially when they have history of it in the family and they're actually prone to it, and their cholesterol levels are already higher than before. And yeah, she's fine. I think she eats a lot of fried food. I try to stay away from that when I can. If I think I want some ice cream, if I see it's way high in cholesterol, I'll completely just forget about it and eat something more healthy. Like, I ate some corn that was more like a Mexican seasoned corn. It's still good, but it's not as fattening as ice cream, and it's a little more expensive because it's made by us. We send it in, they send it to us, and then they actually make it. in the deli, and I had my lunch. I had milk that was only 3% cholesterol, and they had like 50% calcium to help these bones actually build back up in the feet. At least that's the only hard place. The right hand's not serious. It's not like the feet are. It's completely safe because there's no reason. With the feet, there's over 225 pounds of weight. That's the base weight of me at the current moment. And I've gone far to lose some good weight. I used to be 250 or 255 from a year or two ago. And I have sliced it down more, got rid of the weight, cutting back. Ice cream is definitely a no. I cut that out on my diet. Candies, I can pretty cut that out. You don't need those. Even with all the soda, if you actually every now and then cut some things out, so you don't technically need French fries or anything like that. You just cut that out and your weight will go down more when you work more, of course. And with my exercising with carts, it's easier to get the weight off because I'm constantly using every muscle in the body to get the weight off, as well as doing my job and making sure that these carts don't go flying into cars. And I make sure I prevent this at all costs. So, it was windy. It was really brutal. They called me in early, got off early. Same amount of hours, basic. Actually, it's a little less, but it's still a full shift, okay? But it was really warm, 71 degrees. But the wind was pretty rough. And it's just, the weather's been crazy. It's been up and down, up and down. We got some cold this weekend. Cold weather, basically, but it'll go away. It'll start getting up in the 50s this weekend. And then we'll make it into the 65 and 70 degree range again real soon, actually. And by far as snow, I can't guarantee we won't get snow again. We may have a chance, but getting closer to spring. Because spring's on the 21st of March every year. And that's when spring begins. It may take a little longer to get warmer temps. That's how it is. Some years we have cold months in April, cold weather. Sometimes we have warm weather in April, fine, like last year. But March looks like it's going to be a warm up for sure. And there's already plants and gardens, and it's already ready to open for the springtime. Yes, they're doing a lot of those unloading and getting soil and all that ready for the spring so we can actually get gardens ready and maybe get a garden here, get some vegetables growing, save some money. Besides rain, it's not an issue because we get a lot of it at times. We'll get maybe 5 days straight, or like 3 days straight, or one day. That's a huge amount, or just a little. That's just enough to satisfy that the rain is enough to cover the plants and make them grow, keep them growing, and keep them healthy. I always gardened in the past with my mom's parents when they got older. Me and my dad and mother farmed in a garden in Dow. We would go tomato plants, about 20 or 30 of them a year. Corn, squash, Lescini, can't say these right, sorry. Bell peppers, banana peppers, jalapenos. Sometimes we would grow habaneros, quite literally. Chili peppers, like cayennes for sure. That was the big thing we grew back in the day. Cherry tomatoes, definitely. I was the best, and I was the most loyal in my high school years. So I got a thing for that too in the yearbook. So good man who cares. I still care like I was in high school, basically. Taking care of people, I know that. I worry and I make sure that things go really good because I'm there for a reason on this earth, just how it is. But, when health gets worse, I kind of care more in a way that, I need to take actions to kind of help with it, get rid of these underlying issues. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and comment like below. Thank you for watching HD News. Let's hang out.